Apple has been the king of the slab-style phone for forever, but the leaks are finally pouring in. We've seen the files, we've seen the supply chain adjustments, and it's clear the iPhone Fold is real. But Apple is taking a very different path. Instead of the tall, skinny remote control vibe that Samsung loves, Apple is going for a mini tablet approach. Think of it as a pocketable iPad mini. We're looking at a 7.8-inch internal display with a 4:3 aspect ratio. This is a genius move for one reason: apps. Apple already has the best tablet app ecosystem on the planet. By sticking to that 4:3 ratio, they ensure that every pro app you love on your iPad will work perfectly on your phone without looking like a stretched out mess. On the outside, you get a 5.5-inch cover display. It's compact, it's pocketable, and it feels very Apple. For the build, they're reportedly using Liquidmetal. Yeah, like the T1000 from Terminator. It's an amorphous alloy that is incredibly strong and can be molded into super precise shapes. Combine that with a titanium casing, and you have a device that feels like it was milled from a solid block of future. Here's the problem, though. Apple's classic strategy is to let everyone else fail first, then swoop in and do it better. But in 2026, that fast follower approach is looking a bit risky. By the time the iPhone Fold actually hits shelves, the OPPO Find N will be on its 6th or 7th generation of foldable tech. They've already done the homework. They've already fixed the hinges, the batteries, and the screens. If Apple launches a phone in late 2026 that still has a visible crease or a small battery, the Apple Premium is going to be a very hard sell. Speaking of hard sell, let's talk price. The rumors are pointing toward a $2,400 price tag for the iPhone Fold. That is a lot of mortgage payments, my friends. Meanwhile, the OPPO Find N6 is expected to hover around $2,000 while offering a 200-megapixel Hasselblad camera system. Think about that. A foldable with a 1.56-inch sensor that can actually compete with a dedicated DSLR. It's got a 50-megapixel periscope zoom and a multispectral sensor for perfect colors. It's a photography powerhouse that happens to fold in half. Apple, on the other hand, is rumored to be sticking with a dual 48-megapixel setup. In the specs war, Apple isn't just bringing a knife to a gunfight. They're bringing a very expensive, very pretty toothpick. The real battle, however, is invisible. It's the crease-free arms race. Both Apple and OPPO are buying their panels from Samsung Display, but it's how they use them that matters. Samsung has this new tech called MontFlex. It uses a laser-drilled metal plate to distribute the bending stress so the screen doesn't get that old rug look. Apple is trying to take it a step further, aiming for a crease depth of less than 0.15 millimeters. That is thinner than a human hair. But reports from the supply chain say they're hitting technical challenges. Translation? Apple is struggling to make it perfect, and while they're perfectionists, the rest of the world is moving on. The verdict is Apple in trouble. So, is 2026 a red alert for Apple? Honestly, yeah, maybe. For the first time, the Apple is making Samsung look old narrative has flipped. Now, people are saying OPPO is making Samsung look old narrative has flipped. Now, people are saying OPPO is making Apple look slow. If the Find N6 launches on March 17th and actually delivers on that Zero-Feel Crease and that massive 6,000 mAh battery, it sets a bar that Apple has to clear. If Apple comes out a year later with a $2,400 phone that is thicker, slower to charge, and has a visible line down the middle, the brand erosion is going to be real. We aren't in the era of fragile junk foldables anymore. These are titanium-clad, liquid-metal hinged, 200-megapixel shooting monsters. The tipping point for mainstream adoption is here, and for the first time in a long time, Apple is the one playing catch-up in a race they haven't even officially joined yet. What do you think? Would you drop $2,400 on an iPhone that folds, or are the Chinese manufacturers finally beating Apple at their own game of premium design? Let me know in the comments.